Is AEW adding a general manager to Dynamite? We're going to talk about that plus so much more right here on the Ango Show.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TAS. I, of course, am Ango. Don't forget, we're giving away a World Championship belt at 100,000 subscribers. Let's talk about Triple H because Triple H hosted a Twitter Spaces today with Cody Rhodes and the marketing team on X. The conversation was brought up about WrestleMania 40. He says that announcement is coming very, very soon. And then the question was brought up about WrestleMania 41. Triple H has now responded to this. He says, well, everybody is always excited to know where WrestleMania is going to be. WrestleMania 41 announcement is coming very, very soon. I promise that very, very soon. As far as the following year, we shall look at one thing about, you mentioned it earlier, about the global nature of what we do. To me, it is the biggest. I don't look at where we are going or where we're going. I just look at the globe. And I think everything is on the table from where it goes. You saw the mayor of London the other day put out a statement about WrestleMania. I said we should talk, and we should, as should the mayor or the leaders of every other place around this globe if they want WWE to come talk to us. We're open for business. We'd love to be there. Wherever our fans are going to be the loudest and the craziest and the most into what we do, it would be an honor to go there and perform for them. So whether that's a Raw, SmackDown, NXT, whether that's a PLE, no matter the size of it, whether that's WrestleMania itself, obviously the bigger ones are a little bit more difficult to execute, but let's talk. I love this. I love that he's being a little bit transparent about this. At the same time, too, what I don't love is Triple H not confirming to us the WrestleMania 40 location. I think a lot of people need ample amount of time to plan ahead. Obviously, WWE is going to Las Vegas for NXT Battleground. If WWE WrestleMania is taking place next year in Las Vegas, I could see them doing the announcement at NXT Battleground or at some point during that week. But also, too, I think when it comes to WrestleMania 41 and then 42, I think, man, we got it. Look, if it's Las Vegas, Minnesota, cool. We've talked about that enough. But if you're bringing WrestleMania to London, that's insanity. That's insanity because it's a time zone difference, and WWE doesn't do that. And I think realistically, WWE and what Triple H has said here, it's kind of different from what Nick Khan was talking about publicly not that long ago, where Nick Khan was specifically talking about pretty much the big four and stuff staying put in the United States. I don't know what their plan is. They got this global expansion going, but Nick Khan kind of sounded like they're not going to stick with the international events. Now Triple H is talking about this. At the end of the day, I'm super excited about WrestleMania going to London if it happens, but I don't want people to get their hopes up. You never know, but it's tough. And where do they do it at in London? You know, like that's the big question too, is where do you do it? How do you go about it? Let's see. I want to turn our attention to Powerhouse Hobbs. He's been injured last week in his match against Jon Moxley for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. A lot of people thought that maybe it was part of the storyline. That wasn't the case. In fact, it wasn't part of the storyline at all. He was legitimately injured. They had to call an audible for the finish of the match. They try to make it work. Obviously, it was very shitty news. Today, the news dropped that Powerhouse Hobbs will, in fact, go for a surgery. It was reported by Fightful Select. Sean Ross Sapp said that Hobbs needs surgery, and it's going to happen imminently if it hasn't already been done. Look, man, I like Powerhouse Hobbs. I really do. I like this guy a lot. I really like this guy. I think he's incredibly talented. The match that he gets injured in probably shouldn't have to happen on television. It probably didn't need to happen. But right now there's an injury bug. Whether people like it or not, I don't know who the hell in this world actually likes when wrestlers get injured. I think that's a you problem. I think there's something seriously wrong with you. It sucks, man. Hobbs is a very good talent. I want to see this guy break through the ceiling and accomplish a lot of great things for AEW. I think this guy could be a legitimate world champion for any wrestling company. And right now in wrestling, there's a lot of people injured. Not just WWE, but also AEW. So when I see Powerhouse Hobbs get injured, I feel bad. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for the company. Quite frankly, too talented. And sometimes injuries happen to slow down people's momentum. Sometimes it slows down their progression. I don't like that being the case, and I don't want that to happen to Powerhouse Hobbs. Because like I said, I just like this guy. He's talented, man. And when you see somebody with the amount of talent that he has, and you see the amount of potential, the last thing you want to see is not only him get injured, but then it actually hurt his career. And that's obviously the concern here. Health before wealth, but obviously I want him to come back and really get pushed. And I want AEW. I don't feel like it takes much convincing. I think people look at him and know that he commands attention when he's in the ring. But I want AEW to treat him like a big deal when he comes back. So that's kind of my 2 cents on it. Obviously, like I said, there's an injury bug across all these companies. A lot of people are getting injured. When somebody gets injured, and as shitty as it is, it does leave an opportunity for somebody to take that spot. And now the question is, who's going to step up? And that leads us to our final topic. Kenny Omega potentially becoming the AEW general manager. Very interesting stuff. Tony Khan is teasing that there may be a authority figure coming to AEW. AEW announced that Kenny Omega will be on Dynamite tonight. It's been reported that he is there essentially to help boost ticket sales. A lot of people are speculating that this could be the way for Kenny Omega to be on TV despite being injured. I think it's really important that we acknowledge that CM Punk and Drew McIntyre are both injured, but they're on WWE Raw, and they are selling their future program, and they're kicking off with great promos and back and forths. They're keeping that angle hot. I don't know if Kenny Omega could be traveling with diverticulitis and the health concern that he has, but if the doctors are clearing him for travel and they're saying, hey, listen, you can go, you could be on TV, you can't have physical activity, Kenny Omega is literally the perfect candidate for an authority figure. One, Kenny Omega is very well liked by wrestling fans. He's also universally liked by wrestling fans. I don't see any negativity towards him. And then also, too, he is an actual EVP of the company. And then to make it even a little bit better and more logical, he was fired from the Elite because he hasn't been showing up to work due to his injury. So, yeah, let's go with Kenny Omega versus the Elite. And Kenny Omega is going to have to assemble his own Avengers to go after them. For people who don't think AEW needs a general manager, I've been saying for like the last 3-4 years, there is a lot of holes and a lot of gaps in their storytelling. Reason why matches are being made. I like the idea of having an on-screen authority figure that's there to justify why something is happening. Guys, it happened in WWE. I don't need them to copy WWE directly, but to just have somebody there with a little bit of authority to say, this is why this is happening on TV. This is the purpose of it. I think it's a really good idea. It's super small, doesn't require a lot of time. It doesn't take up TV time from anybody. And most importantly, it adds a little bit of logic to the stuff that is happening on TV. If you don't like a match being announced on TV, but Kenny Omega is in the locker room as GM with somebody saying, listen, man, I feel like you've earned it. I know the rankings may not show that, but what you did on Collision and ROH and Rampage and Dynamite, I feel like you deserve a chance. You haven't been given the chance. Go out there. If you win, good things could come. You take 45 seconds of a backstage segment. Now this person has a reason for the match. They explain why Kenny, the general manager, gave it to him. Like, it's cool. It's simple. It just works out very well. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Ango Show.